Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Clemson Tigers land another commitment in the 2024 class, and this was a really interesting one. So we're talking three-star edge rusher Adam Kissayi from the state of Florida, and you look at the height, 6'7.5". This dude has length for days, and it kind of reminds you of the edge prospect Darian Mayo, who's also committed in this 2024 class. Clemson now has two edge rushers who are over 6'7" with some serious length. And you know the upside when you have the length that guys like Adam Kissayi and Darian Mayo have. And if you're a Clemson fan, you got to be pretty excited about just the potential these guys have. Now, Adam Kissayi, probably a little bit more of a raw prospect in terms of 6'7.5", only 230 pounds. Probably have to fill that frame out a little bit. But at the end of the day, Clemson has built this program on developing their players. Like, very rarely do you see players transfer out of Clemson. They are very good at developing these guys. And Adam Kissayi represents a developmental prospect that could have massive, massive upside. And a really fun story, right? Was committed to Minnesota from the state of Florida. Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers come in last night and extend him an offer. Obviously, that was something really exciting for him. He decommits from Minnesota that night and then winds up committing to the Clemson Tigers 24 hours after the offer. So you're getting a guy who clearly is fired up about being in this Clemson program as well. Now, before we get into it again, just want to say thank you to you guys and the Clemson fans especially. You guys have been rocking with the boys for a while. We've talked a lot of Clemson on the recruiting trail. We've talked about how excited we are for this new Clemson offense and how they're going to look in 2023. So can't thank you guys enough for supporting the boys. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And Clemson fans, we're going to be talking about a few other prospects that might be committing to Clemson too soon. So stay tuned for that as well. Appreciate you guys again, though, for rocking with the boys. Now, let's get into Adam Kissayi. And again, very similar prospect to, and we'll go back. We talked about Darian Mayo. He was a Michigan guy. I wanted him for the Michigan Wolverines. Another dude that's 6'7". Now, Darian Mayo probably had a little bit less of a raw prospect. He's already 250 pounds. Well, you see it kind of represented in the 24/7 composite rankings, right? This dude is a 4-star prospect. Now, I want to get into the film on Adam Kissayi before we look at this class in general. And there are some things to like. Now, you do see he's a little bit raw, but the movement skills and the athleticism and the functional athlete you're getting for a dude who's 6'7.5", like, you got to be excited about it. And you see a little bit more versatility, like we talked about with Darian Mayo. This is a guy that on pass rush downs could kind of kick inside and work against some guards and centers. He has that frame to do so. And you're going to see, again, he's learning how to use his length. He probably doesn't know how to fully use it yet, but you see some bend around that guard. You see some quick twitch from him, and you see just those raw. This is a play. I promise you, Dabo Swinney absolutely loved this play, right? It's nothing flashy, but it's a hustle play, right? Chasing down backside. Dabo Swinney loves that. I'm sure of it. But you see like some quick twitch from him for a 6'7.5" guy. Gets off the ball well, can bend behind blockers. And then when it comes to having some closing speed in the open space, a guy like Adam Kissayi certainly has that. And you see a little bit power too. Again, waiting for him to kind of use that length a little bit more. But that's why you get him in this program. You teach him how to do that stuff. But you got to be really excited about what you get in just the frame and the potential of Adam Kissayi. Now, I do want to talk about who Clemson has in this 2024 class. Wanted you guys to, I had to do some research on Adam Kissayi as well. Wanted to just show you a little bit about what he's about. Now I kind of want to take us to what this 2024 class is looking like, and you got to be pumped, right? This is your 15th commitment. It's a top 12 class already, and they're closing in on a few other really exciting prospects. It's obviously headlined by one of my personal favorites in the 2024 class, Sammy Brown, state champ wrestler, we're talking about maybe one of the freakiest athletes in this 2024 class. Power cleans like 405 pounds. He's a track star as well. Also ran the ball for like 3,000 yards in his high school career. You're getting pretty much a superhuman who's going to be an elite linebacker. I'm most excited about the wide receiver room that they're building. Brian Wesco, Christian Benacore at that tight end position, TJ Moore. I think Brian Wesco and TJ Moore really, really exciting in terms of the dynamic playmakers. TJ Moore, a little bit more of that big body guy with phenomenal hands at the catch point. And then Brian Wesco, one of the fastest players in this class, really, really twitchy. He's got a track background. You're really liking how that wide receiver, that pass catching group in general is filling out. And then in the secondary room, a guy in Ricardo Jones that we talked a lot about going to the state of Georgia and getting him. And then Clemson's going to build that defensive line. Heaven Brown-Schuler, been committed for a minute to Clemson. You have Darian Mayo. I want to talk about a few other guys that we could see joining this Clemson class. And it starts with Mike Matthews, the 5-star wide receiver from Georgia. And wouldn't that be, I mean, you're seeing it. He's down to what? Clemson, USC, Tennessee, and Georgia. And it sounds like Tennessee and Clemson are really battling it out. And I heard that Clemson is kind of really in the thick of things. And you land Mike Matthews and you pair him up with TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco. All of a sudden, you're feeling phenomenal about what that wide receiver room looks like. That has been kind of a sore spot the last couple years for Clemson, and that might be a result of maybe quarterback play or the offensive scheme. But regardless, I mean, like, you're excited about Antonio Williams and Adam Randall, who you have right now, but you land Mike Matthews in this 2024 class, you got some absolute dogs at that wide receiver position. And then in the secondary, I mean, you already got Ricardo Jones, who's one of my favorite safeties in the class, trending for Corian Gibson, who will be committing, I believe, July 22nd. He's a guy that you're battling Texas for. He's from the state of Texas. It seems like Clemson is in a really good spot for him. And then you go all the way down to Ashton Hampton, who Clemson's battling Florida State out for, who's a 3-star safety from the state of Florida that also is trending to Clemson. Now, you're looking at a class for Clemson that it might not be the biggest class, but Clemson never really recruits the massive classes because they don't really take guys from the transfer portal. They don't get guys leaving from the transfer portal. But this 2024 class, for all the haters that were like Dabo Swinney's getting passed by this new era of college football, and at one point, like, hand up, that was me, and I've gotten kind of vocal on. I retract it. Like, Dabo Swinney knows what he's doing. He's smart. I'm not. Dabo Swinney still really cooking in this 2024 class, and you're looking like he's going to bring in a really special class. And if you grab Mike Matthews, you grab a guy like Ashton Hampton, you're feeling really good about what Clemson has. And then you go win another ACC title, and you get to December in the spatula season, the flip season. Clemson's been in it for a lot of talented guys. If you're a Clemson Tigers fan, you got to be really excited about what this 2024 class looks like. And again, going back to a guy in Adam Kissayi, I think you have to be excited about him. Again, a 3-star guy, not in the top 500, but man, oh man, like the length. You can't teach that. You can teach him how to use that length, and that's what you have to be most excited for Clemson. Again, this was a guy that was off my radar a little bit, but a really good get for Clemson, and I'm going to trust the evaluation on a kid like Adam Kissayi. Again, appreciate you guys, Clemson fans especially, for showing love. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.